I don't ride for nobody, no badge, no crew. Truth don't play favors, it just come through. I don't take sides, I take time and review. So to put it, let the context break through. If you clean, that stamp stay true.
All indications there were multiple shooters who fired dozens of shots, perhaps more than 50. Remarkably, all of those bullets missed a baby who was sitting in the car that was targeted.
Investigators remained at the scene well after nightfall at this corner littered with shell casings, where somehow a baby in this bullet-riddled car emerged unscathed.
What's the purpose of shooting at a car when you know there's a child in the car? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it could be a lot of other people who's lost their life here today.
Kirk Bell is the godfather of 26-year-old Gabrielle Ayes, who relatives identify as the woman who was shot and killed in her white Chevy sedan around 1:30 p.m. at 79th and May Street, her car then crashing into a van.
This here is unbelievable. This young lady was a beautiful young lady with a beautiful child, and life just cut short. For what?
Ayers' boyfriend in the car also shot multiple times, but her 13-month-old baby daughter, who was sitting in the back, escaped unhurt.
It's a miracle that baby was not shot. It's a miracle.
St. Sabina Church is around the block from where the gunfire erupted, and the church's food pantry is on that corner. People inside hiding in a back room, and after the gunfire, emerged to help the victims.
So they saw, the young man and the woman shot up in the car as they were trying to get the baby out. But they gave the baby immediately to the police, and the policewoman took it in her car and was holding it.
They need to clean this city up. They need to. This gangs and the shooting and the killing is just unbelievable.
Now, some of you may have heard about this case already, and there have been multiple statements being made about the premise and the reasons and the motive and who and why and how. But we came across some other things to add context to this particular shooting, and it seems to be a case of hurt feelings got issued, a death threat, and then a statement of I didn't say that and I'm sorry, all because of feelings. That's what it seemed like. So I'll show you a clip, not a video, but a little blurb here. The Gina is the young lady that was shot in the car, and this was her statement. She said, "Now let me post her dead ass brother in casket on my page." Apparently there was a family member of one of the other persons at one of her friends, and they were having some sort of a beef back and forth fighting. And one of their family members, the other person that you see down below, Diamond Howard, apparently posting a video or a picture of somebody that had already expired. The statement made by Diamond was, "I don't give an F, post it, Rico and M going to handle you." I'm assuming handle you. "Wasn't your people getting dragged out of a car going on mission?" To which Gina said, "Your brother got left on a hit." What it seems like is that these two people were fighting over something, and one person took it a little bit too far and said, "Go ahead and do what you think you're going to do and see what happened." Apparently what happened was these people pulled up, found her, and killed her. How do we know that? Well, in a subsequent post made by one Diamond Howard, she says, "I want to address what's being said about me. I love everyone who loved me. I feel like an image was painted against me and should have never been. G baby, I love you. I'm sorry this happened to you. We was friends before anything. We were in conflict. And during that time, we both posted each other's information. That was wrong on both sides. But it does not mean I had any role in the violence that happened later." But Diamond, you said, go ahead and post that and see what happened. You said they're going to handle you if you do. Now you're backtracking by saying you didn't mean nothing by anything, but your statement said something completely different. Her death is tragic, and my heart goes out to her family and loved ones and my brother Rico. But the claims being made about me are not true, and being blamed for something I didn't do is incredibly hurtful and painful. I mean, I guess if you didn't say something, nothing would have happened, but you did say that. So, I mean, there's that. Now that we have some context to know who the target was It wasn't the boy. It was the lady in the car that did indeed die.
Gabrielle Ayes' mother tells me her daughter worked as a hairstylist and was training to be a letter carrier. Police have not offered a motive for the shooting.
3 masked gunmen unloaded more than 50 bullets into a white sedan in broad daylight, while a baby sat strapped in her car seat in the back. Shell casings were later found inside that car seat. The infant was holding a lollipop and crying when witnesses pulled her from the wreckage. Her mother, 26-year-old Gabrielle Ayes, was dead in the front seat. The evidence, viral surveillance footage showing the entire execution, 3 shooters emptying long guns at the vehicle, then jumping into a red Alfa Romeo to fire even more rounds before disappearing. So, how does an afternoon drive through Auburn Gresham turn into a targeted assassination with a baby as a witness? This is the Gabrielle Ayes case. And if you're not already subscribed to Crime Shadows, hit that button now, because we're covering cases nobody else is touching yet. And this one just happened 3 days ago. According to the Chicago Sun-Times, Gabrielle Ayes, friends called her Gabby, was a hairstylist trying to build her business on Chicago's South Side. At 26 years old, she had a 1-year-old daughter who was her entire world. Her godfather, Kirk Bell, told ABC7 that Gabby loved that baby more than anything.
Apparently not, really. I'm going to say it. There's just certain things you don't engage in, certain people you don't be around. If you say the kid means this much to you, distance yourself from the environments that could possibly harm that kid or yourself, thereby jeopardizing your kid. I can't buy that one.
She wasn't some random target. She was a young mother working to create a better life, someone who neighbors described as sweet and loving. On February 4th, 2026, at 1:25 in the afternoon, she was sitting in the passenger seat of a white sedan driven by her boyfriend, 27-year-old Devin Draper, according to police reports. Her baby daughter was properly secured in her car seat in the back. They were driving through the 7900 block of South May Street in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood, right near St. Sabina Parish. It was a Wednesday afternoon, routine, normal, until 3 men in masks decided it wasn't. So who are these shooters, and what the hell did they want? That's the question that's tearing this community apart right now. According to Cook County Crime Stoppers, surveillance video captured 3 masked individuals approaching the vehicle on foot. They weren't random. They weren't there by accident. The video, which has been circulating on social media according to multiple news outlets, shows them exit a red SUV that had been following Draper's car. This was planned. This was an ambush. And based on unconfirmed reports cited by Hype Fresh, there's a disturbing detail that might explain how the shooters knew exactly where to find them.
Aside from the obvious, we probably ought to discuss exactly what leads up to this type of behavior, and I'll give you a quick thought process on my end. If I'm thinking what happened, these aren't people that you can consider human at this point. People that do like that do not have a conscience about what's in the car, who's in the car. They have a motive, they have a reason, they have an action that they want to do, and they're going to do it. They don't care who's in the middle. They don't care who's at the end. They don't care who's at the beginning. If you're in the way, you're in the way, and you're going to be part of the situation. If I think what I'm thinking, which is words made them act this way, I see why they resort to what they resort to.
Devin Draper allegedly posted his location on social media right before the shooting. If true, that digital breadcrumb could mean this wasn't a case of wrong place, wrong time. This was a hunt. But why? What beef was so serious that 3 armed men would execute someone in front of a baby? Police haven't confirmed a motive yet, and no arrests have been made as of February 7th. But the fact that they brought long guns, wore masks, and came in multiple waves suggests this was personal, very personal. Here's what happened according to Chicago Police Department reports and witness accounts. At approximately 1:25 p.m. on February 4th, Gabrielle Ayes and Devin Draper, were stopped or slowing down near a stop sign in the 7900 block of South May Street. That's when the red SUV pulled up. According to video footage described by True Crime Avenue, 3 men dressed in dark clothing got out and immediately opened fire with what Father Michael Flegger of St. Sabina Church described as long guns. They unloaded on that white sedan from multiple angles. Witnesses told police they heard dozens of shots in rapid succession, automatic weapon fire echoing through the neighborhood in the middle of the day. CBS Chicago reports that over 50 shots were fired based on shell casings and evidence markers found at the scene. 50 rounds into a car with a baby inside. Gabrielle was hit multiple times throughout her body, according to WGN-TV. Devin Draper was shot twice, once in the arm, once in the buttocks, according to police. The car lurched forward and crashed into a nearby GMC van. The van driver, thankfully, wasn't injured and refused medical treatment at the scene. But here's where it gets even more horrific. According to CWB Chicago, after the initial barrage, the 3 shooters ran back toward their vehicle, a red Alfa Romeo, according to some reports. And as they were getting in, they fired even more shots at the already destroyed sedan.
It was more than just a drive-by shooting. Like she said, it is personal, but it was more than personal. I think they wanted to send a double message. If it is linked to what I'm thinking it is, about the whole idea of posting someone's dead person online, it seems like they were saying they won't have anything to post about you. They won't even want to post your image online. There's nothing, we're not going to leave anything for them to post. To empty 50 plus, yeah, you're trying to make sure that there's nothing left to show.
This wasn't just murder. This was overkill. This was a message. And somehow, miraculously, that baby girl survived completely unharmed. A witness who recorded video told True Crime Avenue they saw the infant crying in the back seat, still holding a lollipop after the shooting stopped. Shell casings were found inside her car seat, according to WGN-TV. Inside the car seat. How does a child survive that? First responders arrived within minutes. Gabrielle Ayes was rushed to Little Company of Mary Hospital in critical condition, according to ABC 7 Chicago. She had been shot multiple times, and despite emergency efforts, she was pronounced dead. Devin Draper was taken to Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn, where he was listed in good condition. The baby, Devin's 1-year-old daughter, according to the Chicago Sun-Times, was pulled from the wreckage by police. Footage from Chopper 7 showed the white sedan riddled with bullet holes, windows completely shattered. This wasn't a drive-by. This was an execution. And here's what investigators found at the scene that makes this even more chilling. According to the evidence, this attack was so brazen that it happened just over a block from St. Sabina Church in broad daylight on a residential street. Witnesses ducked for cover.
Again, I get the emphasis, but this is normal. Y'all might not want to admit this, but this is par for the course. Happens every day. Residential street, city street, it don't matter. These particular people don't give a damn about who they kill, how they kill, when they kill. They're just going out there to do what they got to do. They had no conscience left in them. There's none. We've seen video, and if you can go and look this up yourself, there's endless, and I mean endless. Because of the invention of this phone camera business, everybody now is recording when this thing happens. You're having a small block party, a shootout. You're driving down the street, someone shooting somebody. This is normal. This is not like some, wow, that's amazing. I would have never thought. No. The unfortunate thing is that this happens every day.
People watched this happen in real time. Father Michael Flegger told reporters that the baby's survival was nothing short of a miracle, but that child will grow up knowing her mother was murdered right in front of her. Did police know who did this? Not yet. As of February 7th, 2026, No arrests have been made according to Area 2 detectives investigating the case. But they're not starting from zero. Surveillance cameras from multiple buildings in the area captured the attack, according to True Crime Avenue. Police have that footage. They know what the shooters look like, even with masks. They know what vehicle they used. They have ballistics evidence from over 50 shell casings. They have the red Alfa Romeo on camera. What they need now is someone to talk. Cook County Crime Stoppers and St. Sabina Parish are both offering $10,000 rewards each. That's $20,000 total for information leading to an arrest, according to CBS Chicago. But here's the problem. This is Auburn Gresham, a neighborhood that's seen too much violence, where people are terrified of retaliation.
Ain't nobody gonna snitch. Not a soul will snitch on this. You're going to have to depend on good old footwork. Just go ahead and run your cameras and get what you need to get outside of people. They're not going to snitch. Here's the thing. You have people that are already willing to gun you down in broad daylight, right? That's what you said? Okay. You think one person is where they'll stop? No. If you want the smoke, you'll get it too. You think they care about how many bodies they pile up? Don't look like that to me.
Chicago Police 6th District Commander Andre Poston held an outdoor roll call at the scene on February 7th, standing with community members and faith leaders, pleading for cooperation. Illinois State Senator Willie Preston called the shooters monsters and cowards, promising they would be hunted down. Mayor Brandon Johnson showed up to the vigil, talking about the tragedy tearing at the soul of Chicago. But words don't catch killers. Tips do. And right now, 3 masked men are still out there. If you think this level of violence deserves justice, smash that like button and share this video with every true crime addict you know. Because the more people who see this, the more pressure there is to solve it. There's still no trial, no charges, no justice, just a grieving community and a 1-year-old girl who will never remember the day her mother died protecting her. On February 7th.
Protecting her? How? Her mother didn't die protecting her. Stop lying. You don't need to look. You don't need to make people more than what they are. There was no dying protecting the baby. That didn't happen. Just stop. Okay. You don't need to make people some kind of a saint. She had beef with somebody. They talked too much stupid shit, and the other person didn't know how to handle it. She doubled down on it. She doubled down on this in a tweet. The other person tripled down on it. It was planned. They don't have a heart. So if they don't have a heart, what do you expect? Protecting the child. Stop, man. Come on. Look. Protecting the child would be knowing when to shut up and move on from something. Knowing you have a kid should tell you, hey, there's certain things I'm just not going to mix up in no more. But don't have me this highfalutin crap about, oh, she died protected. No, stop. Just stop.
Hundreds gathered at 79th and May Streets for a vigil, according to the Chicago Sun-Times. Pamela Bosley, co-founder of Purpose Over Pain, an organization formed by parents who lost children to gun violence, stood at that corner and told the crowd that these are our children being killed. And if nothing changes, everyone will be standing at a vigil eventually. Adrienne Swanigan Williams, who lost her own son, Tremaine Henderson, to gun violence in 2017, remembered Gabby as sweet and loving, a devoted mother and hairstylist trying to build something for her daughter. Kirk Bell, Gabby's godfather, kept asking the same question over and over. What's the purpose of shooting at a car when you know there's a child inside?
They don't care. How long y'all been dealing with this, Chicago? How long? How long? How long has this particular crap's been going on? How long? Y'all act like this is new. Every time it happens and makes big news, I don't understand. Of course you understand. And it keep happening because you act a fool by saying, I don't understand why the man has been so hard. I mean, when we gonna do something about it? I don't know. Maybe when you do something about it. You guys function under street code and then act like I shouldn't function under street code. What happened? Come on, man. I just don't understand it. I really don't. You complain when something go bad, but you defend the things that go bad by not telling people this is the one that does bad. Get him off the street. That's how you stop it.
That baby could have died. That baby should have died based on the sheer volume of gunfire. But she didn't. And now she's an orphan with a father who survived, but has to explain why mommy isn't coming home. Devin Draper is recovering from his injuries, but police haven't publicly commented on whether he's cooperating with the investigation or what he knows about why they were targeted. And that's the question that haunts this case. Why Gabrielle? Why this car? Why with a baby inside? The investigation is ongoing. Detectives are analyzing surveillance footage, interviewing witnesses, and processing ballistics evidence. But without arrests, there's no closure. The 3 shooters who ambushed that car are still free. The motive remains unclear. And the Auburn Gresham community is left wondering when the next execution will happen in broad daylight. This case reveals something deeply broken about gun violence in Chicago.
You think?
That automatic weapons are the first line of defense in disputes.
Automatic weapons? That you think that's the biggest problem is the automatic side of the weapon? Not just that they're shooting people?
That lives mean nothing. That even the presence of a baby won't stop someone from pulling the trigger 50 times. Father Flegger said it best. Guns have become first lines of defense. And until we deal with that mentality, we're going to keep seeing carnage.
I don't need to hear much more because it's just random talking about stuff that you all know how to fix, but you don't want to fix. I don't need to hear AI tell me that. I can tell you this, though. The more y'all keep blaming things that you know that you can stop and just don't stop them so you can have something to blame, y'all gonna keep having this happen. It seems to me like y'all just fine with it. Because if you weren't fine with it, you'd have stopped it already. You just forgot this whole street shit about snitches get stitches and don't snitch. If that's how you feel, then okay, don't snitch. But don't complain either. When your sedan gets riddled with 50 bullets, don't complain. Because y'all said, don't complain. You said, don't talk, don't snitch, don't do nothing. Y'all are willing to sacrifice the babies and the children for code. And then you encourage soft behavior by reacting to a statement with violence. And that's what's tough now. Wow, that's been your actions were tough. You say that one more time, I'm gonna kill you. Okay. Yeah, that's how you get here. You say something wrong to me, say it again. Watch what I do. You know, like the other girl said, go ahead and post it and see what happened. They're gonna take care of you. For posting the picture, they're gonna kill you for posting. Okay. This can be avoided. The problem is the people behind it don't want it avoided. They want it happening. And the community stays silent. So don't complain. This is what y'all want. That's my 2 cents about it. I told you I'll get at least some lesson here. I'm not with this game. It's a shame that she lost her life. It is. But it's going to be even worse because they probably will never probably really get to the bottom of who did it. And if they did, they probably won't get much time. That's the wild part. And then somebody going to retaliate for whoever probably going to tell. And then you're going to see another shooting. And the cycle will just keep going. And the ones that really suffer are the kids that lose parents every day on the street. And then the parents who lose kids on the street every day. Anyway, y'all let me know what your thoughts are on this one. And if you do have information, snitch, please. For the love of God, snitch. Snitch as much as you can. Snitch. You say you wanted to stop? Snitch. Otherwise, say goodbye to babies everywhere in that town. Just start saying bye. Every day you see them, just say bye. Eventually going to get caught somehow, some way. We'll catch you on the next one.
One wrong move turn the present into the past. I don't ride for nobody, no badge, no crew. Truth don't play favorites, it just come through. I don't take sides, I take time and review. So to put it, let the context break through. If you clean, that stamp stay true. If you foul, that show up too. No miss, no spin, no cover up hype. Every